I think about all the time, think you may need all of mine. Hate to say, you know that love is blind. I'm about to see, I close my eyes, they can't see you in here though. Most of them need dollar signs to make every day, yo.
Hey everyone, so I'm going to be doing my first video and I'm going to be doing a Q&A, and I did a poll on Instagram to see what you guys wanted me to do, and it was between the Q&A video and routine video, and it was 50-50, so I just decided to do the Q&A because I thought it'd be easier, and I asked you guys for your questions, so I'll be answering mostly all of your guys' questions. So let's get on to the video. So the first question is how do I like being a mom? I love being a mom. Honestly, in the beginning when I was pregnant, I didn't think that. I didn't think that it was going to be so hard. I thought it was going to be easy because I see other people's babies and I'm like, oh look, it looks simple. But now that I'm a mom, it's simple, but it's pretty hard when you don't know what to do. And yeah, but I love being a mom. And my second question is, how did my parents react? So when I found out I was pregnant, my mom, well, I went with my aunt and I had to tell my mom because my aunt was making me. So when we came back from the doctors and I found out that I was pregnant, I told my mom, and my mom flipped out on me. She was like really upset about the situation. She thought that I wasn't going to be like that, and so yeah, but things happen and she was really mad and she wanted me to have an abortion, and technically my whole family did besides my dad. When I told my dad, I was gonna tell him in person, but I was too nervous to, and so I just decided to text him, and I sent him a paragraph and I texted him that I was pregnant and that I was sorry. And my dad cried, and I called him to make sure he was okay, and he said he was okay, but he was very disappointed in me, and I could understand that because I am only 14 years old. So, but at the time when I was pregnant, I was 13, so I could understand how they felt. And then you guys asked me about how my family felt, and my family felt the same way my mom did. They wanted me to have an abortion. I don't believe in abortions and I don't believe in adoption because I believe that I'm the one who got pregnant and I should be able to take care of my baby. Unless there was a certain situation, then yes, I would do an adoption, but I wouldn't do an abortion. And I'm not saying that abortions are bad or anything, it's just my opinion. And you guys asked me how I came up with Adriana's name, which her name's back there on the wall above her bed. And I don't know, actually, I was at the hospital when I found out, and then when I found out the gender and they told me, oh, it's a girl, because they honestly thought I was having a boy. So me and my boyfriend picked out like a name for a boy, and if it was a boy, we were gonna name him Alexander, but it's a girl, so we were looking up A names. We wanted the name to start with an A, like how the boys does, and there was like between a lot of names. We wanted a name. It was between Adriana, which we chose, and it was between shoot, what was it? I think Amelia. Yeah, Amelia, and I think that's and Alejandra, but Alejandra, we thought that people would, like, I don't know, say stuff. I don't know. We just did it. That would sound good. And for the Amelia, I know somebody named Amelia, so, and I don't really like her. So I just decided to name her Adriana. And yeah, so the hardest part of being a mom is you never really get time for yourself unless they're sleeping. But if you have a fussy baby like mine, it's kind of hard to get any like self time. It's also a hard part of being a mom is there's lots of responsibility that comes to it. Like, I constantly have to make her bottle, I have to change her diaper, I have to make sure she has bath every night, I have to make sure that she's not like gassy. I have to play with her, I have to give her playtime during the day. I have to do a lot of things, but it doesn't mind me because I chose to be a mom. But I think the really hardest thing about being a mom for me is when she cries and I don't know why. I will check her diaper, I will try to feed her, I will give her a pacifier, I will try to burp her. I try everything, and sometimes she just keeps crying, but a lot of people say it's just because babies cry, which I believe that it's true because they can't talk. And then you guys asked me, when I found out the day after Thanksgiving. So when I went on Thanksgiving to see my family, we went, everyone thought I was getting chunky and I looked different. And my aunt asked me if she could take me to Planned Parenthood to see if I was pregnant. So we went the next day and I was pregnant. School. Everybody keeps asking me about school. I do go to school. I went to school too last year in the middle of 8th grade. I go to Crossroads. It's in Concord where it's in the Olympic. It's just behind it. And so I go there, and it's a teen mom school and teen pregnancy school. But when I attended there in 8th grade, I was the youngest. Everyone was older than me, and I felt like super, I don't know, weird, you know. So we went back for 9th grade. Well, I have to finish high school there. They won't let me go to a regular high school because I have a baby, and everyone keeps thinking that's stupid, which I think it's stupid. But also my school is nice. It has 3 daycares. It has a daycare for the infants, which Adrian is in because she doesn't know how to crawl yet, and then there's another room for the babies who crawl and another room for the babies who walk. So that is nice to have your kid there, and they are great caregivers there. They take really good care of kids. And when I went there for 9th grade, I ended up meeting somebody, and she just went into 8th grade, so she was in the same situation I was in last year, and she just turned 14 too. So she was 13 when she found out she was pregnant, but me and her are really good friends now, and I'm glad she came because now we're the both youngest there. And yeah, and you guys asked me if I keep missing MJHS or people that went there that I hung out with. Yeah, I miss my friends a lot, but I don't really miss the school. I honestly did not like the school. There was way too much drama. I was gonna switch out here to the Concord schools anyways, but when we were going to, I found out I was pregnant, so I couldn't. But yeah, and when I couldn't, I don't know, I was just like, I don't know, I don't really like that school. I never did, and I didn't really want to go back to Alhambra because I used to get bullied a lot, and yeah, so the baby, and you guys asked me if the baby sleeps throughout the night. Yes, she does now. When we first came home, she was kind of an off and on every 2 hours, and then later on she started sleeping a little bit more and wake up every 3 hours. I mean, like 3 times a night. But now, since I have school, I try to put her on her schedule because it's hard for me to be up all night with her and go to school. So she sleeps all night now and only wakes up 1 time, and that's mainly around 3 o'clock or 4, and then I just feed her and she goes back to sleep, so there's no problems there. You guys wanted me to talk about my labor, so I'll do that right now because it wasn't that bad actually. So when I was pregnant, I thought it would be the worst thing ever. Like, I thought that it would hurt, and like, cause everyone would be like, you're gonna feel like you're dying, and I was like, no, I don't want to feel like that. But it wasn't that bad. So on July 19th, 2018, obviously, that's when I started having contractions. I woke up and I had really bad stomach cramp, and it was like every 2 hours or so. So I didn't think it was no big deal. I thought maybe I needed to use the bathroom or something. I don't know. I didn't know what it was, honestly. And then they started getting worse, and then I went to go get Subway, and my stomach was cramping like every 3 minutes. So I kind of felt like I was in labor, and I was like, oh no, I think I was having contractions. And it was with my boyfriend, and he told me I should call my dad. So I called my dad, and my dad said he was on his way. So he had left work. We went to the hospital, and we went to Martinez Hospital. That's where I had her because that's where I went. And when I went, they hooked me up to monitors. They strapped me like with these 2 colored ones. One was pink and the other one was blue, and one was for the baby's heart rate and the other one was for contractions. And they said I was having contractions, but nothing happened. Her heart rate didn't drop, and neither did mine. So everything was fine. The contractions I could handle. I mean, they did hurt pretty bad. It was like, it's like having a period cramp, but worse, like a little bit worse in the beginning. So when I went, I was 4 centimeters dilated, and so I went, they put me in the bed, and I was just waiting, and my contractions started hurting really bad, and they told me I could take a hot shower, and that's what I did, and my boyfriend helped me, and we were doing it, and it helped my contractions so much. And then we had to switch rooms because they had to clean mine, so I went to another room, and that was my permanent room where I was going to have her. So we went in there, I took another hot shower, I was walking around, and then I didn't want the epidural, I didn't want to get it, I wanted to try to go natural, but later on when I was 8 centimeters dilated, I couldn't handle it anymore, so I started crying, and I got it. At first I was gonna get where they could put medicine through my IV, but they said that would only last for an hour, so I didn't want it. So I didn't want that because I wanted to go till I had labor. So when I was 8 centimeters, I got the epidural, and during my epidural I had 2 big contractions, and you can't move when you get the epidural. You're in like this weird position that you have to hunch over and stuff, and put your face in like this thing like that, and oh god, it was like so, I was so scared. Like, I thought it was really gonna hurt, but when they put a numbing shot. Well, they clean your back, and then they put a numbing shot, and the numbing shot just feels like a bee sting. I mean, it hurts, but it's not like, oh my god, I'm dying. And then they inserted the needle, and I could feel it in there because it was lots of pressure. And an epidural isn't just like a shot, it goes into your spine, like in the back, in your spine. It has to go in your bone. And it was hurting, and it wasn't the regular doctor who does it. The regular doctor was in there, but he was teaching a doctor to do it. So she was just learning. They didn't even ask me if she could do it, and she kept going into my bone and stuff, and like, he was like, you're doing it wrong. So he decided to take over and do it, and he put it in, and then yeah, just like moved around and went in, and then he inserted the stuff, and then they took the needle and stuff out, and then they placed the sticker on my back, and then they took a sticker off my back. I don't know if I already said that because I had paused the video because the baby, but they did that. They put it on there, and they kept it on my back the whole time. I don't know if the needle was still in me or not. I'm really not sure because I don't know. Then they gave me this little tube thingy, kind of like a button, and they put it in my gown. Like, there's like a little pocket right there, and they put it in there. And then he told me that I could press it if I needed to during labor, like if it was really bad and I could still feel it, but I didn't feel anything, so I didn't have to use it. So when it was like, I don't know, it was pretty late when I got the epidural. It was like 10 I think, and then at night, and then they told me I should start pushing at 6, probably around 6 in the morning, and I was just up all night, and my water hasn't broke the whole time yet. And then probably around 3 or 2, my water broke, and I was so scared because I couldn't feel nothing. When you get an epidural, you can't feel anything from your waist down. So when my water broke, I didn't really feel nothing. I kind of just felt like a pop, and then like water just came out everywhere, and it was warm, and I was like, ew. And then I told my boyfriend, I was like, I think my water broke, and he was like, no. And then he was like, you're not wet. And then he touched, and then he was like, oh, you're wet. So we called them, they checked me, and they're like, yes, your water broke. But I didn't start pushing it until they told me 6:30. And then my dad and my boyfriend went to Safeway around 5 in the morning, and I fell asleep. So when they came back, I don't even know when they came back, but I fell asleep. And then I just kept waking up and kind of falling asleep, and it was past 6 o'clock, so they didn't come in. They came in to check on me, but I was fine, and I was so uncomfortable. And then I woke up, I think 7 something, and I thought I don't know, like, I felt so much pressure down there that I didn't know what to feel like. So I called them, and then they came in and checked, and they said that her head was down and ready to go. So she told me that she was gonna bring everybody in, and I was gonna start pushing, and I was so nervous. They were cleaning up the room, getting ready for the baby. All these nurses came in. My doctor was in there for a little bit, not a lot, because she got called in to go to somebody else. So I had another doctor, and then the doctor she helped me push, and my boyfriend stayed on my other side, and then I had the doctor down there, and the nurses were around, a couple of them, not a lot. And then I started pushing, and I didn't feel anything, honestly. Like, it didn't hurt. Like, I really didn't feel anything. And I pushed, and it took me 36 minutes to push, and I had her at 8:38 in the morning. And yeah, it wasn't that bad, so it was pretty okay. And then you guys had asked me about if I planned to have her, no, I was not planning to get pregnant at my age. I honestly didn't think I would get pregnant at my age, but I did, and it was by an accident. I didn't plan, but I did plan to keep her. So yeah, that's all, really, and that's all you guys asked me. So thank you for asking me so many questions. I love the questions. I'm so glad that you guys support me. I'm so happy. I am so glad that a lot of my friends told me I should start YouTube, so I'm trying it. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like my videos, and I love the support. I appreciate every single one of you for supporting me, and I mean it. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world to me. So I'm sorry Adriana's not in this video right now, but she's sleeping, so I can, for my routine video, I'll show you her, obviously, because I'm gonna do it. So my next video, I'm going to be doing a morning routine, which I'll probably do it tomorrow morning, and then I'll upload it for you guys. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye.